welcome back to my men's grooming essential series. So like I mentioned in my 2 other hair videos, which I'll link in the description below, this is one of 3 videos where I talk about the best hairstyles for you based on your face shape and hair type. So definitely be sure to watch those other videos because it will heavily influence the hairstyle you should go with. All right, so I'm super excited today because I have a very special guest in studio today, Kyle Krieger. So like the professionals I mentioned in my series intro video, Kyle Krieger here is an incredible hairstylist and groomer that I've worked with on many occasions. And he also has an awesome YouTube channel, which I'll link in the description below for you to check out.
Thanks, a little plug.
A little plug. So I think that covers it. What did I miss?
No, that's great. No, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
So the last time I saw you, we were in New York working on an ad campaign, and you had just moved there. I think.
Yeah. And here I am back in LA.
Here you are back in LA. I love the feeling that men get when I help them transform and give them this incredible outfit where they instantly feel more confident and they like throw their shoulders back. And it's just like, I live for that feeling. And I'm sure it's very similar with giving someone the perfect haircut.
Yeah. After a client leaves and they send you a text and they're like, wow, this feels so good, thank you. You know what I mean? And just like, you feel like you are constantly changing someone's day, which is like a really big impact to feel. And then it genuinely builds self-worth and self-esteem because you're helping people feel good about themselves. Even if it's not on the outside, they also internalize that happiness and like it can potentially change their whole day.
All right, well, shall we?
Yeah.
I love that. That was awesome. So let's get into the best hairstyles for curly or kinky hair. Generally speaking, what do you think are the best hairstyles for curly haired men?
Shave it.
Shave it.
No,
just completely off.
To me, curly hair means short or long, right? So like, I feel like it's very challenging to have curly hair and to be somewhere in the middle. So I think what looks most handsome or great is any type of variation of a little bit shorter on the sides and to graduate here to then have length on the top. It could range between 1 inch to 4 or 5, right? If you want to like push it back almost like a pompadour. You don't want it to necessarily look like Krieger, right? You don't want to be like, yeah. I mean, so like, 4 inches may be challenging, but I feel like if you were to style it properly, like you could avoid that. Personally, for me, if I had coarse curly hair, I even have short hair with straight hair because I just don't want to do it that much. Because I'd rather just it look like I care more about my client's hair than my own. But, if I had coarse curly hair, I would keep it really short and maintenance because I think I want to be able to get up in the morning, walk out the door, not have too much to do with it, but also like look really sharp and handsome and just like a solid haircut.
So when you're styling it, do you style it when it's wet? Or do you put in first a moisturizing, like a cream, and then put in your hair, let it air dry, and then start styling it once it's air dried?
So I think the key for curly hair is to get out of the shower and when you towel dry, to not shake the towel in your head. What I recommend is that you take an old t-shirt, right? And you're using that and you're just placing it on your head, right? You're not like shaking it crazy and you're just absorbing some of the water. And then you're gonna apply product. Moisturizing your curls is important. So if you're gonna have them be a little longer, make sure you're using product that uses moisture as well. So like you gotta think of hair as the hair shaft as it almost on a microscopic level, it looks like shingles on a roof. Right? So when you have shingles on a roof, curly hair, the reason why it can look frizzy is because the shingles naturally are up a little bit. Right? So on a microscopic level, they look up, but if you moisturize them, then they smooth out. So to moisturize them is key because that will help it from getting frizzy. And if you're gonna have length on top, you definitely need to be moisturizing your hair using a product that moisturizes your hair. So the product can be a curl enhancing gel or like gel hybrid, so it's not too like hard. You can mix a gel with a conditioner, and so it has a little bit, it's not super hard and it can have it can be malleable throughout the day. And when you're styling it, avoid touching it with your fingers. Right? Because that will add to the frizziness. Use a wide tooth comb. Or, or use a diffuser when you're blow drying. If you use a diffuser, your curls are gonna be amazing.
They're gonna pop.
They are gonna be so great. And a diffuser is just this like cone-shaped attachment that goes on the end of the blow dryer, and that it has fingers on it, and that can touch your hair. You can move that around and hold your curls up into that, and that will form them in a way that looks great.
For curly haired men, just before we go into coarse kinky hair, is there different hair types? Is there a fine curly hair versus coarse curly hair? Are they generally the same hair type, so you would treat it the same in terms of your haircut and your hairstyle?
Well, yeah, there definitely is. Like, you can definitely have fine curly hair, and you can have really coarse curly hair. If you have fine curly hair, it's probably easier to manage. Coarse curly hair is the type of hair that you have to work hardest on to maintain. Yeah, it's stubborn and it's annoying, and you have to be mindful about products, and you have to do product research and potentially buy a few to see which one works for you, and it takes a little bit more work. But it can be beautiful as well. You have to have the right cocktail for your hair.
But in terms of hairstyle, you would still, that's the hairstyle you would stick to regardless of the hair type you have. It's just now the products might be a little different.
Yeah, like I think potentially architecturally, it can still be very similar.
Let's move on to coarse kinky hair.
Okay.
So I know a lot of my audience that has kinky hair, they always ask like, okay, what do you recommend in terms of the best hairstyle for us? Dryness is a big issue with kinky hair. Like, they need as much moisture as possible, and they want to make sure, the hairstyle that they choose fits their face. So what do you think is the best hairstyle for kinky coarse hair?
This past year on the red carpet with Moonlight and featuring these beautiful black men that have kinky hair, there was a range of different styles, which I was so happy to see. So Mahershala Ali had a great hairstyle where he had he kept it really tight on the sides.
I love that temple fade.
Yeah, but then kept the length in the middle, which is kind of like a little bit like a faux hawk, but like a really cool take on it.
Yeah.
Right? Then Trevante kept his hair really short and almost like a buzz cut, which I think is really handsome too, with a little bit of length on the top. And then there was Alex, who kept his hair a little bit longer on top. It was very moisturized, but he made sure that his haircut was square. Having a square haircut when you have coarse, kinky, curly hair is great for your face shape because the architecture is beautiful. Like, I like the idea of a round shape or like a nice jawline, but then you have this really sharp hair up here going on. And I think it's important to point out that if it doesn't keep a square shape, then you're gonna go more towards an afro style.
I think the fro looks really nice if you have a square face because it helps soften the angles of your face because you're a lot more angular. So do you agree with that?
No,
or do you
100%.
think you should still do square and just play on the square face?
No, I love that. I like the idea of the balance in the architecture, right? Like, if you have a square face, think that your hair is gonna look great if it's round. If you have a round face, then you're gonna have a square haircut and you're gonna look great too. I think it comes down to the balance.
Is there any products you should use, or is it pretty much like it's the haircut that's going to dictate like what you're gonna do?
Yeah, so I would recommend, so if you have coarse, curly, kinky hair, you know that you probably shouldn't be shampooing that much, right? So I kind of like to talk about that shampoo is a little bit of a scam. But shampoo bottles say that you should shampoo once a day at whatever, right? Because they're selling shampoo, right? So they want you to go through it so you buy more. But if you have coarse, curly, kinky hair, you don't need to be shampooing because you need the moisture, you need the oil on your scalp to moisturize your hair. And so you should be shampooing maybe once every 2 weeks. Once a week, once every 2 weeks. Like, you can go a while without shampooing your hair, and your body is going to adjust the amount of oil that it produces based on how often you're shampooing. Your body is 100%. An incredible machine, and it will learn if you teach it. And so if you're shampooing every 2 weeks, then on the 12th, 13th day, you might feel a little oily, but you can train your body to get there. Even if you work out every day, I tell my clients, just rinse and condition. You can rinse and condition every day, right? But you just don't have to put soap in there all the time because it's just sweat, So, I mean, it's not that dirty. I don't know what people are so worried about. You can supplement with coconut oil, an anti-humectant, jojoba oil. I don't know if you can quote me on this, but I think jojoba oil is the closest to oil that we produce as humans naturally. So if you supplement with that oil, it feels like, you know, natural human skin oil in your hair.
Do you put the oil in your hair when it's wet or when it's dry?
I think you could do either.
Either, okay.
But I think it would probably be most effective if you're putting it in when it's a little dry. You could also, if you needed a little bit more hold, right? You could also put in an oil-based pomade, right? And that will help shape your curl, keep it looking a little shiny. The shine will help look moisturized, right? And I think it will help you maintain a style with a little bit of hold so that it's not necessarily just like soft with like an oil in there. Like it'll give you something to work with if you're looking to style it a certain way.
Kyle, thank you so much for all of this great information for curly and of course kinky hair. I really appreciate it. It was so informative. I love it. Think of the hair shaft as roof shingles. That's what I like. The hair as shingles. Like I said at the top of this video, this is one of 3 videos that all go together, which will help determine which hairstyle you should choose. So it's based on your face shape and your hair type. So hope you enjoyed this one. We will be covering the other hair types shortly. That's it.
That's it.
All right, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. And if you have a question or comment, leave it in the comment section below so that we can answer it. All right.
Great, yeah.
All right, bye.